is the Dressing Gown Diary. Review of round 2 and preview of round 3. Didn't manage to persuade the boys to get involved with the review of round 2, so we'll cover off some of the key points now, then follow into the preview of this weekend's action. So it all kicked off 2 weeks ago with Wales' trip to Ireland. The story about Storm Ciara didn't quite hit Ireland as was expected in poor conditions. However, it didn't stop Ireland securing a 10-point victory against a poor Welsh team. You didn't see Wales play that way under Gatland. They were always so professional. Even in the first minute, Dan Biggar didn't know what to do as a kick through, ended up conceding a 5-metre scrum. Fortunately, the props got him out of trouble, but then he missed the penalty to touch. These mistakes were endemic across the whole team. George North had a shocker, was caught outside 3 or 4 times, knocked on. The same with Thomas Williams. Hadley Parks was a little unlucky. The try, non-try, it was the correct call in the end, but he was unlucky. He went over, made a great break. Wales had 15 minutes of pressure but couldn't make it pay. The game at Murrayfield, that was of the ages. Driving rain, kicks going all over the shop, no one really knowing what they were doing, and England all just showed enough to get over the line. The one visit they had to the 22, they scored from. Ellis Genge, you're not going to stop him from that close range. So Scotland again frustrated that they got close, could have done better, but didn't. And then the final game saw France canter to an early lead, expecting them to disappear into the distance, and Italy somehow dragged them back in. And at the end, nearly got within one score. Few things went against them. France had enough. So where does this put the teams at the moment? So if we go through them in reverse order, Italy, I actually think have played a little bit better than the scorelines have shown. They will fancy their chances massively against Scotland. So if we look at that game, that's the first of the weekend. We have Scotland's visit to Rome kicking off at 2:15. Scotland, they haven't scored a try yet in the Six Nations. They've knocked on over the line, but they are poor and haven't worked out how to execute attacks. Keep making mistakes in the 22, build up pressure, but it appears if there's over 5 phases, they don't know how to get over the line. Italy will fancy their chances in Rome at home, and this really is a wooden spoon decider. I can't see either team troubling anyone else in the tournament, so Scotland will have to pray that they've got enough to beat Italy in Rome. The second game of the weekend, massive game. This is really a question of where both teams are. It's Wales hosting France at 4:45. France, clearly with Sean Edwards, knows everything about the Welsh team, but they're both in transition, both teams. Wales have moved with Pivac, tried to play a bit more of attacking line out, attacking play, opening Dan Biggar onto the gain line, looking at Tipperick into the pack. They've made a couple of changes. Gareth Davies comes back in at 9. That's really to try and pick off the rush defence, sniping and the interceptions, which he's famous for. And Ross Moriarty comes in at the flank to add a bit more ballast. Wainwright, it's not just about your tash, hasn't been that great, so he dips back out. But France, can they maintain the early form? So they've done it in both games. They've come off the line very, very quickly, scored early tries. Now, one of the problems with this is Sean Edwards' defensive system. It relies on the whole team. The whole team have to be fit. Now, Wales always prided themselves under Edwards and Gatland at being one of the fittest teams out there. So they focused on the whole team working. France, it appears at the moment, aren't quite at that level of fitness. So struggle a little bit when it gets to the latter stages of play. So it'll be interesting to see Sean Edwards' defence against Wayne Pivac's attack, who will come out on top. Clearly, Wales have come out on top in the last three fixtures against France, but all of them have been very, very tight. The World Cup relied on a elbow, thank you very much. Clearly, it's 16-0 as well in Paris last time out, when Wales managed to find a win. It was the first game in their Grand Slam, and they won quite easily in Cardiff the game before that. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes forward. These 2 games, though, that game and then the Sunday game with Ireland's visit to Twickenham, really defines the Six Nations. Both massive fixtures. There could be two teams going forward for a Grand Slam, or there could end up being 4 teams in the Championship. Because if both home teams secure a win, Wales and England, it really, really puts 4 teams in the mix. So Ireland, again, what team have we got here from Ireland? They've not struggled, but they got across the line against Scotland in the opening game. Against Wales, they struggled a little bit, but got there in the end. Say hi, Dan. Got there in the end, and then it's a question of whether Ireland can close things out. England Where are they at the moment? They secured the win against Scotland, but you can't really tell anything in that game. And obviously they're on the back of the French win in the French loss in the opening round. So it's a real question mark about what kind of team will turn up for both England. Well, actually, those four games. No one, the four teams. Sorry, Wales, France, England, and Ireland. No one's really clear the DNA of these teams yet. Although England under Eddie Jones, they got to the final of the World Cup. It was clear the way they played, but they seem to have regressed, but we're not quite sure where. So it's a very, very interesting weekend of rugby, and I hope you all enjoy it. As I haven't got Freddie with me today, I'm not going to add Freddie's flutter because I'm not sure anyone ever backs it anyway, even though you would have won thousands of pounds. But for me, this is the Dressing Gown Diary over now. Enjoy the weekend. Cheers.